Hi, I'm Dr. Lisa and welcome to my channel. So today we're going to talk about the 5 top problems that I've seen with clients. Also, little secret here, I was my own client with me and money, and what we can do to address and what I can show you and tell you to do to address them. Like a 1-degree shift now with money. Would you like that? One, I hear this, I'm sure you've said this too, I don't have money. I don't have any money. I always say to people, you're doing a session with me. Didn't you have to pay? So you have money. Yes, but this is gonna make me stretch for that, and I can only do this, and I can't keep going. The first problem is I don't have any money. I always say this to somebody just to kind of wedgie them. And it kind of may seem mean a little bit, but say this to yourself. When you hear yourself say, I don't have money, look around at everything you bought that is money. The couch, the table, the plant, the food, your jewelry, and go, well, I can sell it, I can hawk it. I might not get 50% of what I paid, but if I really needed it, I have money all around me. So it's actually a lie to say that you don't have money, even if your bank account's at 0. The second problem is, yeah, I might have paid for this or I can pay for that, but I don't have more to go on in the future. So just look at those things right there. I don't have money and I have it now to do this session, let's say, or to take a class or to pay my rent or food, but not like 6 months or a year from now. Okay, so those are the first 2 things I can tell you that we come up with all the time. But what about for the next 6 months? Well, that's actually future for cucking yourself, because the next 6 months are not right now. So then you create your plan for the next 6 months. And the plan has to be smart. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-based. That means you would actually have to know down to the penny what everything in your business costs you, income and outgoing, and everything in your personal life, incoming and outgoing, for the next 6 months. And then you want to take that number and, and you probably want to times it by 2. Sometimes I times it by 3, just to give myself a little bit of buffer. Because there is those things that happen that you never know. 3, it's not easy to have a multiplicity of money. I've heard that over and over and over again. See if any of these work for you. There's never enough, and there will never be enough. I've heard that over 30 years. More than 30 times, probably 30 million times. There'll never be enough. No matter how hard I try, like the binge and purge cycle, I get some and I get a lot and I feel good for a little while, but then something always happens and everything that I saved or earned or that security that I had is wiped out. See, the thing with money problems is it's called vagueness. You have to clear the vagueness, the not sure, because that brings the worry. If you know your numbers down to the penny, you might not have the money, but at least you know what you need to attract. Now I have to remember the belief systems I told you that my clients came in with. I have to work really hard, like a workaholic, and I'll never have time for the family. I did that for a very long time, and I thought the more that I worked, the more that I would earn. It's actually the more I work smarter and have a plan, a marketing plan, a business plan, and I don't mean do this today, do that tomorrow. It changes every week, but I have somebody in my life that handles that for me and with me, and we meet weekly on that. And that keeps me very clear, and I didn't always have that. And so what that's done is, instead of working, 18 to 20 hours a day, I now can do, sometimes an 8-hour day, which was not something I did since I was when I was 16 and first started working. Or sometimes even like a half a day, and I've balanced things out because other people are handling things that I need handled. And if you can't hire other people, then this might not apply to you. I get it. But even when I couldn't hire them, I made the money so I could, because it made a very, very big difference. And that's the key right there. Next way to address the common problems with money is I may not be able to go beyond what I've created, or I might just be okay, but not like really secure. Well, that's that 2 or 3 times the amount of what I was talking about earlier. You take your numbers personally and professionally and you times it by 2 or 3. And then what you could do is set up a separate account and put that money there so that you start accruing your security. And I have to tell you, some people have called it an honoring you account. When I did it, I called it like an honoring me account, an honoring my business account, and an honoring my life account. Like what would be fun for me. And I started saving like 30% of the income coming in for those future things. So you can start with 10% and put 10% away of everything that comes in an account that you don't touch. And it created greater just by having it sit there. And I never let myself get to that point to do that. I always said, oh yeah, this is a great idea. How am I ever gonna save that much money or any amount of money? And I didn't even know that I could actually sustain 10% or 20% or 30% of everything that came in, every penny that came in. But once I did, what it triggered in the world was, oh, money wants to honor me. Because I want to honor me. You will feel secure in yourself and feel like, oh, so when those thoughts come, I don't have money, or I'll never get to that, or I can't do that, or, you'll be like, oh no, I have that. I'm okay. And yet, you have to keep going. So that would be my next suggestion is brings this accomplished feeling. And so then you're getting in relationship with your money and in collaboration with your money. Instead of, I don't have, I'll never make, I have to work hard, it's never gonna be easy, I can't get beyond my family, I can't get beyond this, I'll never. Continue the conversation in the comments, like this, share it with others, and click on the bell to get notified when I go live next. And go be great.